Hello and welcome to The Appointment. I am Pranjal Sharma. Joining me today for a conversation is Mr. Mahesh Gupta, who is the CMD and founder of Kent Systems. Mahesh, thank you very much for being with us today. Mahesh, you were a professional engineer working in a public sector oil company when you started your career, and then you decided to become an entrepreneur, and now you have a very, very big and growing organization. Tell us a little bit about your early years. How did you decide to become an entrepreneur?
Well, I think it was a bit difficult situation at that time. I had been doing a lot of innovation in my mind, and I had some solutions to oil conservation. And I was finding myself suffocated in that atmosphere wherein the research and innovations could not be expressed. And because it's a big organization and it's like an ocean, and a drop in an ocean doesn't count much. So I thought I must come out and explore my entrepreneurship skills. And whatever ideas I have, I should be put them to use for oil conservation, because that's what I worked for 10 years in Indian Oil Corporation.
Which year was this?
That was year 1988. So I joined them in 77, and then I worked them for about 10 and a half, 11 years. And then I decided to quit, and you must understand, when I quit, I was at peak of my career. I had already had 2 promotions, and my management was telling me, you're a blue-eyed boy and you have a good future.
You may have become the chairman later.
Well, that doesn't excite me, because to me that's not the value. To me the value was, even at that time and even today, is what I'm adding to the society, what I'm giving back to society. I'm not saying as chairman he's not giving back to the society.
Do you think that when you quit your job at Indian Oil Corporation after being very successful as an engineer, what was the kind of risk that you were taking? Were you breaking out, or you were taking a risk? What was going on in your mind?
So my mind was that I will add on some innovation into this ecosystem. Risks were very high. And I'll confess with you, my parents were so angry with me. They didn't speak with me for a week. They said, you are in Indian Oil, your life is taken care of. So why should you take risk? But for me, there was no risk, because I had my confidence.
And that was also the era where risk-taking was not considered good. It was not acceptable or encouraged for the younger people.
Absolutely. What you say is absolutely right. The same situation. But then there's some substance in everybody's mindset that which takes decisions. It's not the rational decisions, it's a decision which comes from inside, that you need to do it.
But you had no experience of entrepreneurship.
Absolutely. But I knew that if I don't come out now, I don't think I'll ever come out. Because having worked for 11 years, that was a time when I had the energies. I was very young at that time, and I knew the time is with me. Because I thought that if I fail, I still have an opportunity to go back and do my career again. And coming out from one of the best engineering colleges, we were full of confidence, because I had performed in the job, and I knew with my degrees and with my background, to find a job after even 5 years of failure won't be so difficult.
What was the first product that you created for the market?
Well, I came out with a product which could check viscosity of lubricating oils within minutes on site. It was very important to know quality of oil which you are using in your oil consuming equipment like hydraulic systems or diesel generator. People had to wait for days to know what is the quality. Idea is it can have an effect wherein you can have a catastrophe if your oil is not good, or you can change oils too early and cannot be utilized to total benefit. So I developed this equipment which was very helpful to the industry, and that began my career.
And then the next phase of growth for you was when you started consumer products like the RO water purifier.
Well, that continued for 11 years, and I must confess that it was very difficult to begin with. But I kept on innovating products. I came out with oil flow meters, I came out with full oil testing kits, oil purification equipment. And I became a successful entrepreneur, I would say, within a span of 3 to 4 years.
But you were selling to businesses?
I was selling to businesses, to industries. It was B2B. But I was making profits. a small company, but making profits, and even at that time I could say I've taken a good decision to come out of it.
So within 4 years of starting out, you could say that you were successful in your first.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And then moving from the oil industry and making products for the oil industry to the consumer industry, that is again a big switch.
Absolutely, and it all happened by accident, let me confess with you.
All good things happen by accident.
I had no water purifier in my home, but I knew the water is salty in Noida, and my children fell sick of jaundice, and I thought that I must have a water purifier. But since I had a setup, I decided which is a good water purifier. I went and did a market survey. I couldn't find one, which is based on a process which could remove what is soluble in water. Then I decided to make one for myself. I imported few components I sourced locally, and I made one water purifier for myself. At that time I thought, if it is not available and it's a problem which is growing, why not make it available to the country? So I decided as a small venture to start water purifier business in the year 99. And well, it's again a big struggle story. I was trying to sell product which is 5 times costlier than the normal UV purifier, and I was
because you took the water purifier to a new level of excellence.
Absolutely,
from what the market had.
Because that's what I invented, and that's what I used it, and that's what I thought would be good for people.
Because reverse osmosis at that time was not attached or not thought of for personal consumption
absolutely,
at all.
Absolutely. It was more for desalination process. It was being used for seed desalination and supplying water to the municipalities. For domestic use, it was just entering in foreign countries. We did enter, and we did try to sell it, but selling was a bit difficult. But I knew it will be a good idea, because to whomsoever we supplied, every consumer was very happy.
Maheshji, you moved from oil products, oil testing products, to consumer products for water purification for households. It was also a big marketing effort. Tell us about the early days, because it appears to me that you're also a very good branding and marketing success apart from product success, because if your product is not good or your marketing is not good, then you cannot succeed.
Well, it all happened, I'll put it like this, and I had no experience in branding, frankly speaking. I was all the time done B2B marketing, starting from my ex-career in Indian Oil and to my oil testing equipment, and I was very afraid to come into consumer business. As I said, I came into business only to add value to my customers, because I could supply products which would help people to drink pure water. But then once you are forced into a system, then I had to start thinking. And few decisions which I took, I think I'd like to repeat that, which helped me. First decision I took is I will not take a competitor's person in my company. Till today, that's my philosophy. Why I did that decision? I said, if these people didn't know how to produce a good product, how can they market this product very well?
So in a way, you also had to create a company from scratch without experienced people, but creating your and building
Absolutely,
your own team.
Because I thought we must create a system based on the value, based on what a consumer desires. And my marketing concepts are totally based on keeping consumer in mind and how I need to communicate with him.
But how easy was it for you, or how difficult was it for you to go for a consumer product? Because going to a business, you came from the oil industry, for you to make a product and sell it to the oil industry would have been relatively easier than to create a new product and go to millions of households who had no idea who you are.
I'm still struggling, because you will be surprised to know that only 2% of people use water purifier, and there will be 7-8% of people who use automatic washing machine. I have still not got the penetration done. Besides me, there are other companies as well trying to convey this. The real problem starts once you make a good product for a consumer, to educate a consumer that this is good for you. He feels you are trying to market a product rather than what benefit he is going to drive. So you continuously need to convey to consumer that this is good for you. And that goodness over a period of time takes time to establish, and it's a slow process. So one has to sustain himself and understand that he will, to whom he is addressing, the success will not come overnight.
What was the principles that you build your marketing and branding plan on? Because the message to the consumer is really through mass media and through convincing them that you are a reliable brand, because water is such a personal product where people do not want to compromise.
I struggled for 6 years to convey to consumers that I am a reliable brand. People still used to feel I can run out anytime, and it was very difficult to convince people. So then I realized that one of the principles in consumer business and communication is to have a good brand ambassador. So then in 2005 I decided to have a brand ambassador, and I think our choice went very well, because then we decided at that time what traits we want in a brand ambassador. A popular brand ambassador, a mother who is reliable and who conveys something to people will have a belief in that. I think that story worked very well for us.
Today, how big is your group, Maheshji?
Last year we clocked a turnover of 780 crores.
And you see robust growth coming for you?
Absolutely. I think year to year we are growing 15%, 15 to 20%. Every year we have been growing.
But you're also moving into new product categories apart from the water purifiers.
Absolutely, because we have taken our image as a house of purity, and we want to be in a sphere wherever it helps to purify your things in daily life, because we have polluted our water, we have polluted our air, we have polluted our food. So I want to be in a space, and we have found solutions to clean vegetables of all the chemicals and insecticide. We have found technologies and ways to clean our air purification systems in rooms. And so I like to work in this space, wherein we help consumers to breathe pure, drink pure, and eat pure.
And today, is the consumer more receptive to these ideas?
Well, I think it's by force, because the air pollution is in news now. We know 10 years onwards you can't have a car in Delhi which runs on diesel. You can have odd and even things that you can drive your car. So, but people still don't believe that they can purify their room air. They feel that they have to live in this atmosphere. But we need to educate to them, and we need to demonstrate to them that we have a product which can help you to purify your room.
In a way, would you like to be described as a social entrepreneur? Because it's not just about creating a company and selling a product, but also helping people realize the importance of a clean environment.
Well, I don't know whether I can call myself social entrepreneur, but certainly I am working in a social field, and it's a good business idea, frankly speaking, because once you help a consumer, you can take profits, because the way business is described is always you have to give him less and take more, otherwise you can't make profit. We always do that, but in return we give value to him, which is good for his life.
Maheshji, your journey as an entrepreneur has been quite inspiring, from a professional to a person who's running almost 800 crore company. Today, the atmosphere for entrepreneurship has improved, but has it improved enough from the time when you started to now? What are the changes you see if somebody wants to be an entrepreneur today? What has improved?
See, we have united with the world. Today, you communicate in a faster ways. Today, the restrictions in international trades are gone, and you feel connected to the whole world. That was not the situation when I had come in. There was so much embargo in doing business with foreign countries, whether it's import or export. Today, it's so easy. And number one. Number two, the communications has improved considerably. That communications allow you to have better entrepreneurship. Then today we have a government who is more positive on entrepreneurship, because they have taken the responsibility of giving more employment. So they want to promote entrepreneurship in a bigger way. So they are coming forward everything online, so that the processes are becoming simple. Ease of doing business is being driven, and it is helping entrepreneurs to shape up if they want to do it. But unfortunately, the economic scenario is not so good at this moment of time. Last 8 years have been very bad for the economic thing, and last 3-4 years have been particularly very bad.
But why do you say last 3-4 years have been particularly? In what way? Are you saying that consumer demand is low, or is the cost of operation high? What are the specific
Well, let's
parts?
look at the crude oil first. From $130 coming to $30, it shows what? Energy is something which is very important to everybody. This shows that the consumption is not there. the demand has reduced everywhere. And that demand reduction is causing people not to have enough capacities. They don't want to get into manufacturing right now because people who have manufacturing facilities
they are
not being utilized, and they don't see that thing happening right now. So the general mood in the world is very, very bad.
But Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been trying since he took charge to improve the environment for job creation, for new investment. How successful has it been? What needs to be done?
Well, I think he has created a positive impact in the world over. He has traveled to more than 35 countries, and all those countries, the investors have a positive outlook towards India. And I think the sentiment itself is improving. It's building confidence in the citizen of the country that they can do something. Otherwise, the situation was very, very negative, and people had lost all the hopes. So all those things are positive right now. And I think a slight improvement, and let's not miss out the fact that last 2 years have been a big drought in the country. That drought had reduced the economic activity in the country. And I think all this situation improving, immediate thrust can happen in development of entrepreneurship in the country.
What would you like the government to focus on now? What would you say should be their top priority today?
See, the top priority has to be expenditure by the government, has to further improve, although it has gone up quite well. But the expenditure and availability of finance is still a concern for the industry today. A high rate of taxation, about 12% or 13% for people to borrow and then to compete in the world is not fair to my mind.
Is that holding you back? For instance, would you like to sell your products in other markets outside India, and is that holding you back?
Well, I have started selling outside India, and we are finding some success. But somehow the exports and even our produces are not finding market for two reasons. A, the value of currency in most of the developing and African countries have come down, and they find it difficult to import at this moment of time. And the general tendencies in all those countries is not to venture into the new products. So that's a little bit of an entry barrier.
So your competitiveness could be improved if the economic conditions in India are better?
Certainly it will be improved, A, and B, I think the ground level improvement in terms of working atmosphere or ease of doing business has still not set in. The government has set in their systems, but people, at least the small industries continue to
So the middle level and the lower bureaucracy is still not reformed enough?
No, they are not reformed enough because they are not aligned with the government objective. The big systems have changed, but I think that change has to come in here.
That might take some more time, but do you think technology is a way forward? Here, there is also the discussion that technology, use of technology, for example, the government is trying to deliver a lot of its own services through technology. Can that perhaps become a very critical reform and make it easier for small industries?
Let's accept this fact, Pranjal. The technology is bound to come into this country. You just cannot keep away from the technologies because it has set in everywhere. And we'll have to follow. If you can think that somebody can communicate without a mobile phone, I think you are living in a different world. So similarly, if the online processes are being set in worldwide, those systems would be set into the country. It's better to set them early rather than late. So all these things will certainly help the government to do it. And I think the coming of GST laws, which may come up now, is a step in the right direction because everything is going to be transparent. People are thinking that if these systems come in, whatever we talk of parallel economy, that is not bound to happen. And then a lot of technology is going to be embedded if this GST law is to be successful. So I totally agree with you. This technology will help us to do ease of business.
I want to close our conversation with talking about Kent Arrow again, Maheshji. What is now your vision for the group, for your products? Where would you like to see the group in the next 10 years? Do you see it as a global brand from India, or do you see it as a global brand in India? Do you want to expand to many new categories with the focus being on purity? What would you like Kent to be known as?
I would certainly like Kent to be known as a house of purity, helping people's life basically to have good clean water and clean air and clean food. These are the three areas I like myself to be known for, and I like people that they attach great value to my product, and I want to be number one in all the three areas. over a period of 10 years.
Would you like to also focus on new research and development to make sure that your growth and promise of purity is based on technological advances as well?
Absolutely. My philosophy is innovations, and I would continue to do innovation, whether it's in product or it's in processes or it is in business. I believe in innovation because I always believe what we do, we need to improve upon that. And that delta improvement is innovation to my mind.
Maheshji, thank you so much for joining us, and our best wishes for your continued success.
Thank you very much, Pranjal. Nice meeting you.